Terrific film. And I'm back with Dr. Eric Goldman, author and expert on Yiddish, Jewish, and Israeli cinema, who chose the films which make up our look at the Jewish experience on film that we're having. Now, let's talk about that Holocaust footage in the movie.
Groundbreaking. I mean, you have to understand that American movie makers went into the camps with the liberators and captured this footage. And the footage was largely to be used within Germany as part of the denazification process. Many Germans claimed that they had no knowledge of what had taken place, and the Allied governors saw it as their responsibility to educate and to make Germans aware of this. Very little of that footage made it back to the States. Periodically, you see a little bit of it in newsreels. And what Wells does is he takes it and he incorporates it into this narrative, which was unheard of. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, it's the first time it's done in American cinema.
So unprecedented.
Unprecedented and actually quite risque, because you're showing tough footage in a narrative film for an audience that's coming to be entertained, right. And boom, they're being hit over the head with these horrendous visuals.
So again, it had to be an independent filmmaker like International Films behind Orson Welles, somebody that daring to do it. And
Wells, certainly, as we know, was very daring.
Yeah, absolutely. What else about this film intrigues you?
The very fact that even the subject of the Holocaust is spoken about. Holocaust didn't really speak to most Americans. It was something that Europeans experienced. It's something that Europeans learned about because they or their neighbors had somehow either been involved with the mass murder of Jews, gypsies, and other political opponents. But for Americans, it didn't resonate. The fact that he introduces this is again, another taking chances by Wells. And I give him a lot of credit for it because it was an historical moment. Jewish filmmakers certainly didn't want to bring attention to it. And here he is doing this.
Yeah. Great that you included that movie.
Thank you.
Just so few people know it, which is a pity.
Yes.
Yes. Well, moving on, stay with us. Eric and I are going to be back momentarily to introduce another film which deals in some way with the Holocaust. This one's a film from 1953, not widely known today either, directed by Edward Dmytryk and starring Kirk Douglas, produced by Stanley Kramer.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Kirk Douglas juggles shell shock in The Juggler. Then Rod Steiger tries to cope with his changing neighborhood as the pawnbroker. And Spencer Tracy oversees a Nazi war crime case in Judgment at Nuremberg.
Step in.